All right, welcome back. Today we are talking about the last task in the entire TOEFL exam. It is the second task in the writing section. This is the independent task, and it's about the personal preference. Now, this, just like with the last writing task, this task is also almost exactly the same as a task in the speaking section, with the independent personal preference task in the speaking section. Now, with both of them, you have a situation that is presented to you where you have at least 2 or 3 options. Now, traditionally, it was only 2 options that they would give you to choose from, but with the new TOEFL, it's possible that you could get a third option to choose from. Now, you already know from going through this course that I really don't like the titles that they give for these tasks throughout the exam because they don't really reflect what you're actually doing. So even though this is an independent task, the only part about it that's independent is that you could choose one of the 2 or 3 options. But what if you don't have a preference about that situation? Maybe it's something you've never thought of before, or it's something that you don't even care about. Well, all you have to do is pick one and just pretend that it's your option, because all you have to do is think of at least one good thing about the option that you choose and at least one bad thing about the option that you don't choose. And then hopefully with the 30 minutes that you have, you'll be able to think of more good or bad things. But you should also be able to think of at least some example to illustrate the point that you're trying to make with both of the options. Because with the speaking section, you only had 45 seconds to deliver your response. Here, you have 30 minutes, and that is a long time to do this. In fact, once you know the structure of this and know how to do it, you should be able to finish this task in no less than 10 minutes. But since you have that extra time, that means that you'll have plenty of time to go back over your response, proofread it, add some things that you think would be beneficial, take away things that don't make sense, make sure that you have perfect grammar and sentence structure, and have a nice full answer. And really, that's it. Now, as far as the topics, it's the same as with the speaking section. A lot of times it is some sort of a school-related situation. It could be a work-related situation, but since most people that are taking this exam are students, most of the time it'll be a school-related issue. But also, one of the things that I've noticed recently is that sometimes it could be some sort of a social issue, like talking about the environment or health or things like that. But traditionally, it's a school-related situation. The thing is, as I mentioned on this page, there are thousands of things that they could write about, but the topics that they choose are not going to be anything that you actually have to think really hard about your decision. You just pick one of them. Think of at least one good thing about that. Think of at least one bad thing about the other one. You could also think about good things from the option that you chose or that you didn't choose. And you could say, well, even though this about the option that you didn't choose, I still think that this about the option that you did choose. So there are ways that you can talk about good things with the option that you didn't choose, just using contrasting phrases. But really, that's all you have to do. One good thing about the option that you did choose, and at least one bad thing about the option you didn't choose. And then structure your response the same way as you would in the speaking task. State what the situation is. Maybe state what other people might choose, but then why you choose this other idea. And then after you get the basic structure of your response written, spend the extra time going back and making sure that you're using good sentence structure and good grammar, and make sure that your response is of the right length. But really, once you know how to do this and once you practice this, you should have a lot of time left over to just sit there and relax. I don't know if you can leave early with the TOEFL exam, but like I said, once you know how to do the structure, this 30 minutes is going to be more than enough time. Let's take a quick look at an example. So here it says, some people would prefer to move far from home to earn money, even if it meant they would be far from their family. Other people would prefer to stay closer to family and friends, even if it means that they would earn less money. Which would you prefer? Give reasons and explanations to support your choice. Okay. So you can see here, it's the exact same structure as with the speaking section. So if you have gone through that one already, like if you're watching this course, if you're watching this video within the course, then you've already gone through that particular section. If you're watching this video on YouTube, you can go see the videos about that, and get an idea of how to structure your answer. But otherwise, we will go through that a little bit more in the strategy video lesson. But the last thing I want to mention about this is that you do not have to rush. Take your time. You have 30 minutes. That's more than enough time to do this. So take your time. Make sure that you're saying exactly what you want to say, using perfect sentence structure, and making sure that your answers are more full and more fully expressed than they would be in the speaking section. And that's it. So we will see you in the next lesson. Thank you for stopping by, and have an excellent day.